We're living in a very strange world that will only get stranger from here. Good old Americana that is still keeping secrets away from the general public. Specifically, where in the world are the JFK, MLK, RFK documents that we were promised? Let's not even get started with the Epstein files, as Tucker Carlson just came out and described that there is a force that is exerting influence on the Trump administration that is actually blocking the larger disclosures here. What did Tucker Carlson mean? Who did he name? Why does it matter? As we have Trump's lawyer now issue a statement about this, giving us some clarity and some other fake news that is being spread around wildly that we will be uncovering in this particular video. All of this is happening as we're getting arrests of people who criticize a certain country in the Middle East, and not the arrest of the people that are on the Epstein client list, the billionaires that have been weaponized against the Trump administration, his campaign, his administration, and his proxies like Elon Musk that, of course, are on a rampage calling them out for going to, of course, the private islands, flying on those private jets, and doing horrible things to small children. As, of course, if you've been watching the show, we've been talking about this as long as almost anyone else in the industry. Many, many years ago, the corporate media is still promoting this kind of weird sicko. They're all meeting, they're all hanging out, they're all partying, and we're saying, yo, these guys are up to no good. They're doing some really sick, sinister stuff with children here, and they deserve to be exposed. And we were called crazy conspiracy theorists. We were telling them, hey, guys, there's actually, like, islands, there's planes, there's boats that these people have committed some really horrible, awful stuff on. You're a crazy conspiracy theorist, they said. You're insane. You're delusional. What? You think there's a conspiracy at foot here with billionaires that literally diddle children? No way. And guess what, mofo? We were right. We were right all along. Those individuals have a lot of extortion on them, have a lot of compromise on them, and a lot of them are being used against Donald Trump, his proxies, and his larger goals that he wants to achieve. And this is why I've been saying it is the utmost importance for Donald Trump to expose the Epstein client list, as now Tucker Carlson gave us some larger kind of understanding of what's happening here. The person he named is very interesting, is very tied in to the intelligentsia and other secret societies that could explain everything that's going on here, as he is now saying that there are people behind the scenes that are desperately trying to block the JFK files, all being done by senior politicians. Who are these politicians? Well, all of this kind of came forward in a very interesting conversation with Como, another failed CNN personality that was on the Tucker Carlson show recently, as the two got into it. And it looked like Como was trying to go after Tucker Carlson for, of course, this larger notion that a lot of people are discontent about. A lot of people are saying, where's the list? Where's the clients? Where's the arrests? Where's the documents? Where's the larger disclosures that we were promised here? What's really going on here? Well, according to Tucker Carlson, there's something else in the shadows, in the secrets of the D.C. swamp at play here that are stopping a lot of this information from getting revealed to the general public. Why? Because it would have, quote, national security implications. National security for who? For what? As some people are also jumping to the conclusion that the reason that these documents aren't released is that there's potentially still people inside of Trump's administration and cabinet that could be held culpable here, that could be held accountable here for those larger kind of egregious actions. That's another theory that's been circulating on the internet since we still don't have any legitimate answers.
That's worse. I don't know. And where's your boy Kash Patel? I mean, he went in there to supposedly bust all this up.
I can't answer that.
He put out this weird tweet, that was very general, like, things are going to change and we're going to do this and da, da. After we learned that someone under his control now, right, because he's the head of the FBI, in that office that's under him, why wasn't he there? Why didn't he go there and say, give me the files, give them to me?
Weren't you just saying the deep state's not real?
I don't know. I don't believe in the deep state as a boogeyman. What's
going on?
But look, they're his guys. I'm just saying, why didn't he go there and say, give me the files?
Well, as Elon Musk has previously described, they are captains of a ship with an insubordinate crew. And now they're trying to, of course, steer the ship in the right direction. That's Elon Musk's kind of explanation of what's going on here, as there's also rumors of Kash Patel looking for private security since he thinks that there's actual threats against his life. And again, the people who are releasing this list, as we said from the very beginning, face a lot of grave dangers, face a lot of very big situations that I wouldn't personally wish on anyone else. There's a lot of extreme pressures here, but what Chris Cuomo says here is what a lot of people are also thinking. Why haven't these people been up front? Why haven't they been on the offensive here? Why are they on the defensive? Why are we relying on letters and not actual action here? As, of course, the head guy of the FBI New York City office was fired. And I'm like, he's fired? He gets to retire with a pension? He gets to step down? He gets applause? He gets bagpipes cheering him out of the office with an employees cheering for him? That's the guy that covered up Epstein client list. There should be something more here. Will there be? We'll see.
Let's just use logic. I can't answer that question. I think it's a great question. But let's just use logic for 1 second. Clearly, if you watch this, in my case, for the same as you, 35 years, watching this stuff carefully, and somebody, gets in office, I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing. And then like 5 days later, they're like, well, actually, someone has called that person to say, there's something you didn't know. Here are the consequences of doing that. Someone has applied very serious pressure on this person. Pressure so serious that person is willing to humiliate himself.
So wait a minute.
Yep. And then we're going to play you exactly who Tucker Carlson was referring to. He talked about two big specific individuals. But before we do and play the rest of that particular clip, check out thebestpoliticalshirts.com, where we had to get a different merchant since our shirts previously were censored. Can you guess which shirts were censored the most? The shirts talking about Mr. Epstein. There was a BuzzFeed article that literally attacked us and had our merchants run with their tail behind their legs, take down our T-shirts, destroy our booming, T-shirt sales, just because there was peer pressure kind of applied here. And we got a lot of really fun, awesome T-shirts available on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. As you can see, we now use multiple merchants, and we make sure that these shirts get out there to the general public. We got a lot of really great shirts that we can't recommend enough that really do help spread the word. This is my favorite Christmas one, but this is just an overall classic here, an overall favorite. Like wearing this T-shirt around, absolutely always someone, yeah, man, it's crazy what's going on. Hell yeah, man, get that list out there. What's really happening? The shirt that I'm wearing right now, you could also get on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. It says being happy and healthy is a revolutionary act. How do you find it? You go to thebestpoliticalshirts.com and you type in, I think if you type in happy, you'll be able to find it. Yep, right here. Type in happy, and then bada bing, bada boom. The shirt pops up for you. We'll make sure that it is up in the making of this video. Sorry, we're still trying to clean and fix everything up after dealing with a very bad merchant that has not been too good. But thebestpoliticalshirts.com, we're up and running in real time. Check out all the stuff we got available to you, since we got some of the really good stuff out there. And that stuff only available through, of course, our T-shirt store that allows you to do your own lazy forms of activism. The interview continued on with Mr. Cuomo and Mr. Tucker Carlson. And then we saw Tucker Carlson actually name some names here, which I thought were very interesting.
I'm not guessing. Called over and said, you cannot appoint this person.
So why don't you expose that person, first of all, so we can start chasing
Tom
after
Cotton
him?
of Arkansas did that.
Tom Cotton?
Yes, correct.
And did you ask him?
I haven't. No, I haven't asked him.
What the hell's going on with you?
And then Chris Cuomo goes, oh, you're part of the deep state. Again, just being kind of facetious here. There's still more comments that Tucker Carlson made. He then goes on, talks about Mike Pompeo covering up the JFK documents as released by Donald Trump himself. And we have a very interesting statement from Tom Cotton, a GOP Republican establishment senator, that came out and said it's false what Tucker Carlson is alluding to here. But if we look at Tom Cotton, he is chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee. I mean, this guy is one of the most established people in Washington, D.C., in one of the most powerful positions as a U.S. senator in there. And clearly, he wields a lot of power. And clearly, the intel agencies go to him and have a lot of backroom dealings and chats with him, as well as his kind of larger attendance at the Bilderberg meeting, another secret society, as he is there on the official participant list in 2017 in Chantilly, Virginia. I was actually there during that Bilderberg meeting. I was actually trying to get as many comments as I could for all the participants, but Tom Cotton was a participant in this larger kind of secret society where heads of state meet with the heads of corporations and other intel agencies and the big banks and the corporate media, all behind Chatham House rules, behind the scenes, with all of the things that were discussed kept away from the general public. So if there ever was a man of the establishment, let's be honest, it is Tom Cotton. If there ever was a man of the secret societies and the intel agencies, it is Tom Cotton that's coming out and is saying that the statements released by Tucker Carlson are not true, saying, quote, "This is completely made up. Senator Cotton does not oppose releasing the JFK files, and he doesn't have any involvement in how the executive branch releases documents," a representative for the Republican said. So, another statement from one of his representatives out here denying these larger allegations against him. Now, who's telling the truth here? I don't know, but I think Tucker Carlson definitely has a better track record here of serving the people rather than serving the intel agencies and the establishment and going to secret society meetings. Yeah, there's a big difference between the two. And then after talking about Mike Pompeo, another man of the intel agencies, Tucker Carlson kind of clarified what else is kind of happening here behind the scenes according to his own personal experience and his own personal insight into this personal matter.
But I'm really concerned that the failure to disclose big things like details about the murder of a president in a democratic country, republic, that will convince people that our system itself is fake. And it's kind of hard to argue that it's real.
I totally agree.
If you can't even know who killed the president.
Transparency is trust.
62 years later, Mike Pompeo was working to keep American citizens from knowing who murdered their president? Who are you working for, Mike Pompeo?
And we just had an election.
What is that? And by the way, I just want to say one time, you cannot convince me. I'm not some world expert in the CIA, but I've certainly watched it closely over the years. It's not the CIA. The CIA. CIA is like a huge federal agency with all kinds of different components and warring tribes within. And like, there's no CIA. Bill Burns is not like calling Trump
agree.
and being like, don't release the files.
I agree.
Just credit CIA.
But look, the president knows. We just had an election where he was hammering on these things. And
Yep. Chris Cuomo actually asked some good questions during that larger exchange, and he put some pressure on Tucker Carlson that actually opened up and actually gave us some larger disclosures here that we never had before. Now, I think what Tucker Carlson's describing when he's saying it's not the CIA, it's not the whole administration, I think he's talking about the rogue criminal element of these intel agencies and a lot of the private contractors that, of course, interact with these agencies that also have a lot more of an ability to be, quote, outside of the law, outside of Freedom of Information Act requests, outside of any kind of congressional hearings, outside of any kind of reporting. And it would make sense that there's an outside larger criminal gang and element that is probably putting pressure to a lot of these public representatives from exposing them, from holding all of their key players and all of their key puppets that they have compromise on from being held nicely together in their established order, an order that Donald Trump promised to disrupt. Will he? Well, according to his lawyer, Alina Habba, she came out and she is now explaining on the Benny Johnson show the reason why we don't have the Epstein files is because there's going to be charges associated with their release that, of course, will have people held accountable for their actions here. Now, is that the truth here? Well, that would explain why the documents aren't released here, as, of course, there could be secret grand jury indictments happening right now. There could be grand juries being convened right now to go up against a lot of these billionaires, a lot of these powerful people. And you wouldn't want the cat out of the bag. You would want to make sure you release these documents. Oh, these people are implicated. Oh, there's a hard drive. Oh, there's a video of this person doing something really awful to a small children. We got to build the case around it. We got to get a conviction. We got to make sure that we could go to trial with this first. Then when all the people are arrested, then we release it to the general public. That's the explanation. It's a very convenient explanation. And if that's happening, I'm willing to, of course, apologize for my larger eagerness here, but that eagerness is met with years and years and years of being disappointed and lied to. Are we being disappointed and lied to now? Some people believe so. I am still willing to give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but I think we have reached a point of no return where the general public demands this. And if we don't get this, everyone will believe that the whole system is fried, that the whole system is rotten, that the whole system can't be trusted. And the larger players against Donald Trump will still be on the loose, and they will still be attacking him, his proxies, his allies, other individuals like Elon Musk, and other individuals that, of course, are trying to stand with Donald Trump for his larger agenda that these people are vehemently opposed against. Here's what Trump's lawyer had to say about all of this recently.
I actually just asked about this and where it's at. And I just want to say, I understand and hear the American people's, ask. And sometimes they mistakenly put it on me, and that's fine. I'm part of the administration. But I will say that I personally have checked in. They are going through it. You have to be patient, because when you are wanting to prosecute and actually do something with the information that you have to make sure that you save the integrity of the investigation so that we can bring these people to justice, so that we can hold grand juries, so that we can do certain things. You have to be careful. The value for the American people to know immediately would undercut, we have to do it. We have to expose it. And we're going to be transparent 100%. But we also have to make sure we're not putting any children in danger, putting any minors that don't want and do not deserve to be publicly identified.
Okay, that first explanation is good. That second explanation, I mean, okay, it doesn't take that long to declassify documents, okay? It doesn't take that long to just auto-find a victim, blank it out, all right? It doesn't take that long. So that second part of the explanation saying that they're, going through the documents, if they are a truckload of documents, I'm a little bit worried that the FBI just is kind of filibustering here, just sending everything they can just to try to, of course, muddy the waters here. It's clear there are a lot of conspiracies at play here. It's pretty clear that there's a lot of foul play here involved by the highest elements of our elected representatives. Has this administration been hijacked by that? That's a question that a lot of people are asking. As earlier today, we got news that the FBI director, Kash Patel, is reportedly requesting a direct, secure line from his home and FBI office to the Oval Office, bypassing the Attorney General of the United States, per the Wall Street Journal that reported on this earlier today. Now we have a spokesperson for Kash Patel coming out and saying that these reports are not true at all, calling the reports BS. Now, how are these two working together? I don't know. I should probably ask. I should probably try to find out, since, of course, there are still so many unanswered questions. As I will remain consistent with my overall messaging here, we have to be respectful. We have to pray for the safety and the well-being of all those people releasing the list. They are doing extremely dangerous work. Let's hope and pray that this kind of explanation is true, that they are going to be pressing charges. But at the same time, let's not forget about this. Let's not just let this story go. Let's not allow this story to be forgotten. Let's not allow this story to get away from us, as, of course, this should be priority number one. Look at what's happening with all the billionaires attacking Elon. That's not a coincidence. Look at who all those billionaires are tied into. It's not a coincidence. Now imagine what else is happening with the global markets, with a lot of the monies, a lot of the resources, a lot of the big banks that are also all implicated here. Again, JP Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank, all of these larger institutions, all implicated here throughout all of this. And until we rein in this larger kind of extortion operation, no one is safe. If you agree, share this video. Get a t-shirt on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.